Now I'm going to go through how to make some sounds that you're probably all going to find useful depending on the genre of music you're making. Let's start with a simple pad. Now, a pad, sawtooth waves tend to be quite nice because they're very bright. They have a lot of harmonic content. They're quite soft in the lower frequency spectrums. So with a saw wave, this is what it sounds like. We can filter it to soften the sound a little. Okay? Then we can maybe apply a 2-pole filter so we can have a little bit more of those high frequencies present and a bit of resonance. Now we need to go to the voicing tab and apply unison. This is something really, really powerful. Unison will essentially duplicate or times by 3 or times by 4 and so on the amount of voices an oscillator generates. So it's kind of like if I activate unison and I turn on 2 voices, now it's kind of like having 2 oscillators generating the exact same sound. When you apply stereo width and when you apply spread, it makes the sound much wider and much bigger because spread detunes the voices slightly. It's kind of like tuning one up by a few cents and one down by a few cents. And stereo width pans one of them to the left and pans the other one to the right. And this is the result. Have a listen. Unison off. Unison on. Much nicer. Increase the number of voices to make this even thicker. Too much detuning. Just right. Nice. Now we can apply some filter modulation using envelope 2. Turn the filter down a bit. Increase the modulation amount. Slow attack. Slow decay. Maybe a bit slower. And then I'll hold it around there with a slow release on both the amp envelope and the filter envelope. Now, what if we apply a performer on the pitch for some arpeggiation effects? 12 semitones, vertical grid, 12 steps. Going to use 2 bars, zoom in, and I'll have first step on the original pitch, 5, 7, 12. 5, 3, 7. And let me make sure it launches every time I play a key. Nice, I like that. Pretty cool. Finally, let's apply some effects over here. On the routing matrix, you can see the signal flows through all of these and gets to X, Y, and Z. We can apply effects such as reverb. Now I'm going to apply reverb on the Z, which is the final module in the entire synth. Click here, go to reverb. I'm going to go for the whoosh, which is quite a big reverb. The size determines essentially the length of the reverb. The color can determine whether you apply a bit of a filter to the reverb output, so a low pass, or making it a little bit brighter. The mix is the mix between the no reverb sound and the reverb sound, and the send is kind of the volume of the reverb. Now, the send and mix can create similar effects because you could turn the reverb down with the mix, but I tend to leave it at the middle and use the send to determine the volume of the reverb. So Very nice. All right, so that's how you can make a pad sound. Of course, you can change the waveform. If we go to a square wave, sounds a bit more video game-like. A triangle. We could have a sine wave that's phase modulated. Awesome. We can go to the performer, we can increase the rate. Very cool. So we've got a backing track over here that I've made throughout the production course. Let me play it and then I'll try and play something over it and hear how it sounds. Now I want the volume to duck in response to the kick, which plays every quarter note or every beat. So I'm going to apply LFO4 to the level, like so, with a ramp up waveform. So every time the cycle restarts, it goes back to the beginning and ramps up. Unilateral. And the rate has to be synced 1/4. Like this. Let's listen to this now. Right. One thing I forgot to do is set loop to restart in mono, so it's perfectly in sync with our track. Fantastic. All right. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Let's go into the next one where we're going to make a different kind of sound.